Good morning, everybody. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about some other techniques for stress reduction. I guess you could call these maybe more advanced techniques. So the first one I'm going to talk about is EFT, or the emotional freedom technique. And this is also known as tapping. So this is a holistic healing technique that kind of combines certain aspects of traditional Chinese medicine with cognitive therapy and acupressure. So as the name suggests, it involves kind of tapping on specific meridian points of the body while focusing on a particular emotional issue. But actually, it can be any issue. Often it's emotional, but you can focus on physical issues too, if you choose. Now, the process, I'm going to take you through the process just very briefly, but I will also post a link again for you to kind of delve into it a little bit deeper and have some really good instruction. So what you want to do first is identify the issue that you want to focus on. So kind of what's coming up for you, what do you feel like you need to focus on, and really try and feel that emotion or that issue. Then you want to rate the intensity of the issue from kind of 1 to 10. Keep a note of that, and then come up with a setup phrase that kind of acknowledges the issue that you're going to focus on, and then affirms some kind of self-acceptance or self-love. Then you go through the tapping sequence, which are, with the meridian points, which I'll walk you through in a second. And then you kind of check in with yourself to see if the intensity of the emotion has improved, decreased, and then you can repeat for as many times as you want. So the setup phrase. So it would be, say I have a meeting or a presentation coming up that I'm nervous and anxious about. So I could say something like, even though I am anxious about this upcoming presentation, I accept how I feel and I allow myself to relax. Something like that. And you can it really is up to you. The even though kind of, prefix to the statement is a good one to kind of get you to the emotion or the issue. And then I accept is a good one for getting, for the self-acceptance and the self-love. So you want to tap on the karate chop point, this meaty bit here. It doesn't matter which side you do it. So just use kind of 2 or 3 fingers to tap on that meaty bit while you are repeating the setup phrase. So something like, even though I am anxious about this upcoming presentation, I accept how I feel and allow myself to relax. And you do that, say that 3 times while tapping, and then you move on to the meridian points and tapping while repeating a kind of a reminder phrase that summarizes the negative emotion. Now, the phrase can be the same one on every point, or you can say different things. And I guess I liken it to maybe if you're on the phone to a friend and you're just venting about how you feel. So the first meridian point is where the eyebrow starts. So you tap there and say something like, I'm anxious about the presentation. Then you move to the other side of the eyebrow. I don't like getting up in front of people. Under the eye on that kind of bone. I'm very nervous. Between the nose and the mouth, I don't like speaking in front of people. Here, kind of on the chin, I'm concerned I'll forget the words. Then we go down to the collarbone. This presentation is very stressful. Under the arm, kind of for ladies, around where the bra strap is, I'm very anxious. And then the top of the head, kind of on the crown of your head, I'm really concerned, Now, the idea is that this should be kind of decreasing stress hormones and making you feel a little bit more relaxed. You can check in after a round to see how you're feeling and whether the intensity has come down. Even if it comes down 1 on the spectrum, that's great. Maybe you want to repeat that again. And as I said, if you find it difficult to keep coming up with different things to say on each meridian point, then just say the same thing each time. I'm really stressed about this presentation. I'm very stressed about this presentation, and just continue on. So after you've done a couple of rounds, if you can feel yourself relaxing a little bit, what you can then do is another round on the meridian points, but saying positive things, because it'll feel more real then, because you're a little bit relaxed. And so you can say things like, I'm very prepared for this presentation. I know exactly what I need to say. This is my time to shine. Those kinds of things, okay? So, and again, it can be the same phrase, but just make it into something positive. And really, you can do as many rounds of this as you like. Personally, I find it really useful for kind of letting go of emotions from the past that I may have kind of held on to from certain situations. So that's EFT. And it's basically supposed to reduce the intensity of negative emotions and can sometimes alleviate physical symptoms associated with those emotions too. Okay, the second one I want to talk about is vagus nerve exercises. So these are techniques or practices kind of designed to stimulate and strengthen the vagus nerve, which is the longest cranial nerve in the body. So the vagus nerve kind of plays a role in regulating lots of bodily functions, including heart rate, digestion, and breathing. So some examples, some of the more basic ones that you can really easily do at home, any kind of things that engage this area. So singing, chanting, laughing, gargling is a good one, gagging. So some people use their toothbrush and you can just kind of also gargle some water. So anything that stimulates, because the vagus nerve kind of runs down from the head down to the gut. And so, there's some evidence that suggests that can be helpful in stimulating it. There are some specific exercises that you can do. I will post the name of the book where you can find these exercises. Some of the names are the salamander, the basic exercise, and there's also one where you're kind of swinging your arms around to I guess, move the spine around a little bit to help with that. And then the last one is cold exposure. So exposure to cold water or cold temperatures can stimulate the vagus nerve and also help to reduce inflammation in the body. And a really good way of kind of implementing many of these together is to use the Wim Hof Method. So you may have already heard of the Wim Hof Method. This is a wellness program created by the Dutch athlete, Wim Hof, sometimes known as the Iceman. Now, the method consists of a kind of combination of breathing exercises, cold exposure, and meditation. But really the two core methods are the breathing technique and the cold exposure. So the breathing technique is sometimes called retention breathing, and it involves taking rapid, deep breaths, followed by a period of holding the breath, and this is kind of thought to increase oxygen in the body, reduce stress and anxiety, and improve overall physical and mental health, and also reduce inflammation. Now, the cold exposure is the second component. As it suggests, it's about immersing the body in cold water, or maybe even having cold showers if you can't immerse yourself. And this really helps to increase circulation, reduce inflammation, and boost the immune system. And the two together can have really profound effects. And this has become quite a popular program in recent years. And there's actually quite a bit of research now to show that it can have a range of benefits, including improved immune function, reducing inflammation, and increasing energy levels. So I'll put a link into his free kind of online course as well, if you're interested. And lastly, I just wanted to mention limbic retraining. So this is a holistic approach to healing kind of chronic health conditions that are believed to be caused or at least worsened by an overactive limbic system. And the limbic system is the part of the brain responsible for regulating emotions and the stress response. So there's different techniques, there's different programs that you can choose. The most common ones, the Gupta program and dynamic neural retraining system, DNRS. This is something that I use with my clients a lot. If you want more information, you can definitely get in touch, but I will put the links to those two programs. There's like a free trial period that you can have a look, and this can be really good for people that have a really overactive nervous system, lots of ruminating thoughts, just kind of constantly in that fight or flight. Sometimes meditation and these other kind of simpler techniques just aren't enough for somebody that's been stuck in this kind of overactive, fight or flight response for years and years. So we need to kind of delve a bit deeper and do some of this limbic retraining. But that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow for final comments. Thank you.